Hello, Philippines. Hello, world. Hello, universe. Welcome again to our MK and Co. YouTube channel. And if you're watching right now, please subscribe on that button so then we can always remind you when we have new videos uploaded. So tonight, I'm so happy to introduce to you our special guest and who's going to be my regular co-host for this YouTube channel. So stay tuned and get to know who is Miss Michelle, known as Mitch to friends, Lucas. She was crowned Mrs. Universe Philippines, first runner-up for 2021, and also bagged the crown of Miss Pacific Continental 2021 for Mrs. Universe. All right, and of course, she's not just a beauty queen, mind you, but she's also a businesswoman, and she's a restaurateur. She owns her own restaurant in Rizal, a nice Japanese restaurant. You should check it or message us, so we'll tell you where it is. And she's also a business coach, coaching youth and women as or to become entrepreneurs. All right, so but first we will be talking and getting to know who is Mitch. And the first question is, yes, what are the core values? Or before, I'm so excited. So Mitch, why don't you say hi to everyone?
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you, MK, for having me here. It's nice to see you again. How are you
Yeah.
doing?
She was just my guest on DZRJ 810 last Saturday, and we were so impressed of how she can eloquently and articulately talk about the topic. Ano ba yung topic natin? It's about like how do you take care of your challenges in life when you are suffering, right?
Yes. And the
And
response,
how to
the
respond
response
to
to the
stimuli.
stimulus.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, stimulus and response. How do you
that's right.
respond or how do you react when issues of life? And the same time tonight we'll be talking about your reference points when life issues rock your boat. So first, okay, who is Mitch? Tell them where you come from.
Okay, I'm a mother of three. I'm 43 years old. I come from Rizal. I've been here since 2009. I studied in Assumption Antipolo, so I went back to my roots. Went back here after Ondoy in Manila, if you guys remember that unfortunate event. And then starting that time, I started doing my own business. Although me and my partner, we have a BPO, and but he's the one who's running it now. So I entered into the restaurant business. I studied interior design in UP Diliman and also took up culinary in CCA. So I took up Japanese cuisine. I was so into it because I know Japanese food is healthier than most food or most cuisines in the world. So I had to learn it because there was a time when people were asking as to why I was running a restaurant when in fact I'm not even a chef or anything. So I had to go for the title. I had to become a chef to to gain the respect of my customers. And then I started doing a couple of businesses here and there. I did printing. I did a lot of small things out here just to sell stuff that I'm interested about and to share the things that I know about selling and earning a living, especially for women who are mostly just at home. You want to give them something that they can make money from. So that's what I've been doing. And then I was invited to a pageant in 2021. I joined, I participated, and fortunately came out as one of the winners, despite of being a newbie in the industry. So that somehow became an advantage for me to even further my advocacy to help women and the youth in terms of entrepreneurship. So the advocacy of the pageant is more about empowering the youth and women. And since I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner, I'm also a coach to micro and small entrepreneurs. I thought it was the right platform for me to even further my advocacy and to help out as much as I could in the locality that I'm in. And I was hoping at one point I said if I do bag the crown, I'd be sharing the same advocacy everywhere else that I'll be going, and also carry out the advocacies of my twin sisters. And so far, I'm in touch with my queen sisters, and we're doing charities together. We're helping each other, and we're also becoming business partners slowly,
So,
and somehow we're finding a lot of fun. We are enjoying together, actually doing things that we love as women.
so when you're talking about your twin sisters, and these are your twin sisters who joined the Mrs. Universe 2021, right? So I'm
Yes, yes.
curious, what other business have you done with them
Okay.
in
So
particular?
yeah, particularly, I'm in the restaurant business. I'm in the food industry. So I can cook Japanese, Spanish, Filipino, American, Italian, and all that. And, as an entrepreneur, as a restaurateur, you always need raw materials. You always need your, let's say, seafood, meat products, rice, grains, and all that. And then one group of Queen sisters, they started their I Meet You business. So this is Mrs. Manila, Mrs. Makati, Mrs. Bulacan, and Mrs. Valenzuela. And when they started the business, I was very excited for them, and I attended their opening. And then I realized, I said, okay, I'm gonna order from you guys and see how far we can go with this. And then eventually, since we have a network of restaurateurs as well in the area, I told them, why not make me one of your local distributors for Rizal? So we've been doing, small businesses together, such as, distributing their meats. So that's one. And I have queen sisters as well, like Mrs. Pangasinan, who's also into the beauty business, Mrs. Sophia Lee, who's also into the aesthetic business. We've been talking about franchising. We've been talking about like learning the skills that they have, like doing the eyebrows, doing the lips and all that, just to make women feel good. So I think anytime this year we're gonna get into that as well. We're gonna get into it together.
Like beauty, health, and wellness. I've seen
Yes, that
some of
yes.
your Facebook, blogs about certain products, right? So we can talk
Yes, yes,
about that when
yes.
we go onto your business advocacy, because you have to teach our kababayan, especially our overseas workers all over the world, because I'm sure they would like to know where to put their extra money,
Yes, of course.
right?
Of course.
Even I want to
Yes.
learn.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah. So who? That's Mitch
Yeah,
about
that's
her.
me. It's very simple. I'm a very simple person. I just do what I love to do, and I just try to enjoy every day that I get to work with people, meet new people, and also earn a little bit from here and there. So I'm not
Mitch.
after such huge.
Mitch.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
thought women, simple women, were defined as nothing. They're not doing anything except being a home
Oh no, no, I
except
just
being a home executive at home. you know,
that's not nice.
No, no,
I
no.
think
I
even
admire these
yeah,
women, because when sometimes they say, I'm just a housewife. No, you are home executive
yes, yes,
to run a home
exactly.
nicely and to rear up good children until they graduate, and to take care of your husband very well and still being married to him. I mean, happily. I think I bow my head because they're running their family business very well at home, right?
Exactly, exactly. When I said like I'm just one of the simple people on earth. I mean, I just keep things simple in my life. I don't like complications. I want my peace. I want to do things the way I like it, in a way that I don't stress myself out too much. Because I've been there. I've been in the corporate world, and I know how hard it is to be there. I know it's like, you barely sleep and you spend so much time trying to, catch up on deadlines, and it's something that I'm not into anymore at my age. I just want to take it at my own pace.
I think we can redefine what you said. Not simple. Ordinary woman doing extraordinary things. Because
Yes, yeah,
not every
that's a
woman
better way to put it.
can do what you're doing, you know?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Regarding your core values, these are things now what drives you to life, you know?
Yeah, yes.
So one of my core values, for example, is progression. You know, I'm the type of person not to be stuck into what I
Yes.
know. I always further my education, or if I'm interested to new things, then I would like, I'm a forever learner. So I think we should speak a little bit half Taglish, English and
Sure, that's
Tagalog,
okay.
so
Okay.
our
Yeah.
kababayans can, who are watching right now, maybe they prefer to listen to us in a little bit in our language, right? So,
Sure.
yung core values mo, ano yung mga mahahalagang core values na Mitch is known for this? Ako, gusto ko, values ko is like yung honesty. Yung parang no lying, and then yung doing the right thing. You know, yun
Yes.
yung, kasi when friends become dishonest or they lie to me, you know, then, it hurts me, you know. So parang I prefer people who have got integrity in their words and in actions, and then honesty, you know, and how do you call this? People who are how do you call authentic. That's one other core
Yes.
value, core
Yes.
value, and then yung value of connection. I like to connect to people because I like to know more people because
That's true.
sometimes they say if you want to be in business or you want to improve your life, if you connect with people, kasi people don't live in an isolation, di ba? No man's is an
Yeah.
island. So one core value is connection. And then yung
Mhm.
faith. So how about you? I'll tell more later, but why don't you tell me about you, because this interview is
Okay.
about you.
Okay. Like I said, I went to all women's school. I started in Dominican College in San Juan. So that's all girls. And then I went to Assumption Antipolo. Again, it's all girls. So you can just imagine the values formation. So it talks about, of course, a lot about faith, a lot about integrity, being genuine, being authentic, being true to your fidelity to duty, being of service to people, understanding that life is, about love, a lot of love to give to the world,
Yeah.
and believing in the innate goodness of people. And these are things that I had that were inculcated in me during my transformative years. And of course, I had to learn new things. I went to UP Diliman, and you know how liberated people are out there. So I had to like really test my values. I need to make sure na okay, applicable ba ito, or these are things that do not apply in the real world. So some were really tested to the point that I was questioning the innate goodness of people. And I used to believe that, no matter, like you said in one of in our last interview, that no one is born with bad intentions. People are really born to be good. Unfortunately, circumstances and certain conditions in their lives make them behave differently, and that's when the goodness becomes overshadowed by bad actions or words or thoughts. So I think my out of all those values that I was able to that were inculcated in me during my transformative years, one of the things that I have stayed committed to is being faithful to my God, to my Creator. Because every time I hit something like let's say a rock bottom or a hard wall, there's always a reason for me to check back on my God and ask for guidance, lead me to the right direction as to how I'm going to surpass these challenges in my life. So being faithful at the same time, always being grateful for the things that I have every day, whether small or big, and being grateful for the people that I meet along the way, because everyone has a purpose in our lives. The reason why, we encounter situations and, difficulties in life and also people is because we need to learn something. We need to pick up something from every situation. So just as simple as being faithful and grateful, for me those are two important values in my life. And in the workplace, the most important, I think, of all the things that I have is my discipline and also my passion for the work that I do. Because without the passion, there's no point of doing business. There's no point of pursuing anything in your life. So it is only with great passion that accomplishments are made by anyone. And I also look up to people who are not simply popular for, being rich, for being beautiful, for, having so much power and influence. I look up to people who are able to change people's lives. I look into, their whatever they're capable of doing, and not what they're simply just saying. So I admire people who make a lot of difference in this world, whether it be, whether they may be poor, disabled, or missing something in their lives. I'm not very particular about celebrities as well. I'm not into that. I don't like, I don't watch a lot of showbiz, but I do watch a lot of movies. And yeah, I enjoy just, watching regular people succeed in life and also inspiring other people.
Yeah, that you've heard of the word ikigai, right? Ikigai.
Yes,
That
yes,
means your reason for living should be to add value
yes, exactly.
to people, right? And sometimes these
Yeah,
is things that are you're passionate about, or something that you like so much, or something
yes,
you're good at, and you can turn that into a career or business even. Basta
yes,
mag-added value ka, that's always very good, because in this world is really we are here to love ourselves and love others, but first love God, right, as they say. But if you love God,
yes,
you have to love others too.
yes.
So that,
I wanted to tell you, I mean, what I've also learned recently is that there are two important things in order to have better relationships. And I think you've already said the same thing. It's about respect. And then I wanted to add a lot of humility, because when you're humble, it's easier to understand the other side of the fence or the other person. But when your ego is bigger than you, the tendency is, miscommunication and conflict. So in business, it's better to be the humble
underdog,
one.
the
Yeah,
underdog.
not really the underdog, but you don't want to overpower the other party, especially when you understand that they want to be the one in power, they want to be on top, and they want to be, right all the time. You just don't argue with that fact, and you just don't want to make things complicated. You need to find another way to, parang a strategy to ease them up and make them calm down, and then at the end of the conversation, you end up winning. You
Yeah,
end up, winning the conversation and getting what you really wanted in the first
yeah,
place.
I like what you said, because like humbleness or humility, I mean, is allowing people to be who they are, right? And then the
Yes,
value of core value of connection. So they say
yes,
it's better not to burn bridges, but to seek to
true,
understand people na lang. Because not everybody are like us,
yes,
who think like us. But I'm sure when something it's gonna be explained to them and taught to them, one day they will be also understand what we are.
yes. It will. it will
talking
take
about.
like proper timing for certain individuals. It takes wisdom kicks in a little later for most
Yeah, for
people.
them.
So
Yeah.
we can't expect them to have the same wavelength as we do. And the best thing to do is to give them the space and the time to learn things on their own. Because we can't be their teachers. I mean, we can just show them and guide them as to, as to how to behave or how to think. But at the end of the day, it's their personal choice. If they're happy with themselves, then that's fine. But if they find it in the mirror that there's something wrong with them eventually, then they'll figure it out and they'll change on their own.
All
So
right.
we don't push people.
So yeah, but I have a question with you,
Yes, ma'am.
or
Yeah,
for you.
sure.
Have you ever did it to someone? Maybe it's easier sometimes if it's to a friend or someone you know, when you had to tell them that they're wrong. Have you ever done that?
I've done that even to employees because I was doing HR work. So I was the HR head in our company, and I really had to be frank and honest because we were serving US clients, and you know how it's like. It's just really black and white, and you can't just beat around the bush like how we do it here in the Philippines. We know na onion skin, mga sensitive yung mga tao. So there was really a part of time in my life when I was very blunt and honest that you did the wrong thing, and for that reason, it's gonna be hard to recover the business. So how are you gonna recover this business for me? So I was able to say, certain stuff that were quite hurtful and but straightforward because it's about business.
So do you agree with me since you've been in HR and also as the top management owning your company also, like sometimes you could be honest, but it depends on the tone of your voice
Yes, yes. It's how
and
you convey.
and
It's
then
really
your
how
body
you,
language that there
yes,
it
it's
still
really how you,
displays friendliness and trying to seek to understand, and then the words, of course.
yes, but
Sometimes words have power, right? So you really have to, like what
words are very
Conrad was saying,
powerful.
the three Ks: kiss,
Yeah.
kick, and kiss again.
Kick and kiss. That's true. Our words are very powerful. Even if they're just thoughts, they're also very powerful. Even if we just, sit down, it's the energy that we have that, that already tells the other person, oh,
Yeah.
there's something about her, there's something about this situation.
So
So we
what
be
what
careful.
what often do you hear from your friends about your character and personality?
Um, Oftentimes they call me the best friend, the sister, the mother, the friend, the neighbor, and the person that they've always been wanting to have around them, like the person who makes them feel comfortable and makes them feel understood. So, parang big sister most of the time, ate,
Yeah.
o kaya, I mean, even men are comfortable talking to me because I have no malice and I just laugh things out. I'm not very sensitive, and I know when it's a personal thing, or I just don't really bother so much about, jokes and slurs. As long as, you're not trying to hurt me, it's okay with me.
Yeah. So
So,
this being open-minded,
yes, yes.
parang you're open-minded even to what men talk about. Like
It
you could
doesn't
be,
matter. My friends are, from all walks of life. I have friends who are gays, lesbians, all genders, and they're comfortable with me. I mean, they get to tell me everything, even the deepest secrets, actually, which I'm not supposed to tell anybody, but they feel comfortable in,
yeah.
sharing their lives with me.
I feel the
So I don't
same.
know why they do that.
Yeah, but well, the same with me. I often all the secrets are easily told to me. You know, they're
Yeah.
open with me. I think I can see in you, like, so then you have unconditional acceptance kasi to people, you know,
Yes,
and
exactly.
you don't give your prejudgment, you don't give your assumptions and opinions,
No.
diba? Kasi sometimes people get hurt or they shy away from you and they don't want to talk to you if you they can hear the way you speak, the way you already the words that you will utter, they will already know whether they would trust you. So,
Exactly.
yung core value mo na yan na respect. I think you respect everybody's mind, and you just
Yeah,
listen there and you don't give judgments. So, that's a good core value, yung honoring people no matter what they are or what they do or what they say. That just
true.
to be them. So, respect
Mhm.
and honor. Actually, pag meron kang respect to people, honor them, whoever they are, you win trust.
True. And every time, I encounter like situations because of, I have a lot of good friends who would like tell me about their feelings about certain individuals. And most of the time, I'm like the peacemaker. I'll be the one who's going to say, let's not dwell into it. Let's just move on and let it go. There are better things to think about. But, sometimes I'm also human when it's a personal thing already and I'm the one who's being attacked. Of course, I know how to react. I could say bad things as well, but sometimes, I have to forgive myself for saying things that I should have not said because I know everything that you blurt out comes back to you many times. So, parang I've given myself parang chances to improve and to stop dwelling in things that are negative or things that, you can just forgo. So,
Okay, so now let's go to the other topic then. So I think the people got to know your core values, right? So, and one more. Are you the type of person who also have like you like progression? You have a
yes, of
progressive
course.
mind. You're always forever learning too, right?
Yes, that's my problem. I like to learn almost everything possible. So if I see something interesting, no matter what, I'll put it in my my to do list, my to read list, and then most of the time I get to forget about it because I have a long list of things to do. But I am so interested in learning and knowing more things, and there's a lot about me that I don't get to tell people. Like the other night, I had my because I'm taking this new position in our local government. I'm going to be appointed as the investments and promotions officer of
Mm-hmm.
Angono, and I'm also the current officer for the business club of Angono. And I've been very active in business clubs and employers confederations and the chamber. So while they were in my house, I was surprised that some of them noticed the paintings on my walls. And then they were like, oh, those are nice. Where did they come from? I said, actually, I'm a visual artist. I do paint, and those are my paintings. So,
Oh, they paint too.
yes,
Wow.
of all the things that I know how to do, I mean, that's something that I go back to when I'm quite or emotional, a bit emotional. I pour my emotions into my creativity or my artwork. So I find the way to express that bursting emotion into something that's going to, to accept it for whatever it is. And usually it's the canvas and the paint. They don't really mind if I, scrub them or do whatever to them. But if I feel bad or if I'm in love or
There should be a story when you were doing that painting because that's the story you're
yes,
gonna tell them. That's why people buy
yes,
paintings because it could be an abstract, but then what was in your mind when you
yes,
were?
there is a meaning to everything that we create with our hands. So when I paint, my soul is there. So
Wow.
when people notice, oh, there's a nice painting there. Okay, great, that's mine. I made that.
So
So
wow, that's a new thing I've discovered that you're a painter, also an artist. So
yeah.
how about now we go to when problem arises. So
Which
balik tayo doon
happens
sa
all the time.
yeah, ano yung reference point mo?
I think when there are problems arising, you tend to realize na they're always there naman eh. So why worry about them too much?
Kasi may
I mean,
choices dito ha. So in
oh,
modern applied psychology and mindfulness, my mentor said that each one of us have a unique way of having a reference point, just like when the boat is rocking, they say para hindi ka daw
mm-mm.
mahilo, you have to look at certain point, focus on that,
Okay.
so then
Siguro sa
then
akin,
you wouldn't
pala,
mind the rocking. So parang So
Yes.
there are three choices. Some people, the reference point is factors outside themselves. Like, okay lang,
Mm.
marami man akong pera, malaki na, maganda naman yung aking job or
Yes.
something. So
Oo.
is
Tama.
it a job title, your or behavior? It's me. I'm like this. Or sometimes people say, "Why are you doing like that? Maybe you should change something." No, that's me. So they only do the reference when they have problems with regards to root judgments din. Ganyan ako, mahirap lang kami. Paano ba? Ganyan ang kinalakihan ko that's what
Mm.
my parents told me sabi, minsan talaga tanga ako stupid ako. Yung parang sometimes, those are root judgments from our
Okay, okay.
parents. And then yung gender orientations. Ganyan talaga kaming
Bakit?
mga gay. Ganyan kami talagang mga LGBT Sabi nga, wala kayong magagawa.
Oo.
Ganyan na kami, very artist. So some people, when there's certain problems that people will say, hey, siguro you should change. Hindi, ganito na ako Pasensya na. So that's when factors outside of themselves through their titles, their gender orientations, root judgment from their parents, kung ano yung kinalikihan nilang mga pumasok sa minds nila. And the second one is your reference point could be the aspects of experiences.
Yes.
So,
Mostly it's more of that. Yeah.
minsan, it's worldview. Trending yan ngayon. So, nakikiuso lang tayo, when something like, naghiwalay ka na naman. Pangatlo mo na yan. Ano ba?
Trending.
Siguro, it's time,
Trending.
siguro, kailangan na mag-change
Yan,
ka.
gusto.
And then friends will say, uso yan ngayon, hindi na uso kasal.
Walang forever.
Walang forever, di ba? Or it could be thoughts and feelings. Eh, yun ang nararamdaman kong tama Kaya, yun ang ginawa ko. When somebody say, pero may mali ka doon kaunti, that maybe you should. Sabi niya, ganun na ako Matagal na ako, 30 years na, 50 years old na ako, ganyan pa rin. So, bahala sila. I'm not to adjust to them, they have to adjust to me. Yung mga ganun, di ba? So, these are all
Yes, yes.
temporary. And then yung values and beliefs. Sabi niya, ganyan talaga kaming mga Muslim or Ilocano or mga Batanggenyo, mga matapang, di ba? O waray.
Yes,
Sabi niya, ganyan kami mga waray So, pasensya na. Di ba? Parang
right,
they,
right.
they, um, they excuse themselves. Or their
Yes,
point
that's
of
the perfect
reference
word.
is,
That's the perfect word.
yan,
Those are
parang,
all excuses. Those
and
are
then yung
all
mga
excuses.
dislikes. Sabi, I really dislike her. What can I do? Di ba? So, I dislike these things I told her that. Parang, and then ideologies. Ganun naman kami pag Kristiyano ka, pag Muslim ka, o kaya whatever, pag Buddhist ka, ganyan talaga. So, and then the third one, which is the best one, is your reference point, sabi na, is good for basing at guiding laws, principles, and values. And I could name some few. So parang yung code of ethics, may
Mm-mm.
gandang sabihin, I've learned it. It's a code of ethics, part of ethics. Well, gaya ng moral ethics o kaya mga business ethics, right? And
Yes,
then
yes.
character virtues. You base
Tama.
your parang and then yung moral standards, direction or purpose, and then I like the fourth one, God. I also the one I reference. My reference point also is God's principles and standard, and then love. I do these things for the love of
Yes.
and then universe, all the universal, how do you call this, strength that we believe the universe give to us, like and that to know that sources of all life,
Yes.
yung parang
I'm leaning towards the same, the third one. So if it's more of talaga, I center myself on the fact that I don't like excusing myself too much to the point that yun nga may dahilan ka na kasi Kristiyano ako kaya ganito ako mag-isip kasi babae ako may gender I'd say discrimination, and then yung kasi ganito na ako lumaki, ito yung tinuro ng magulang ko kaya ganito ako mag-isip or ganito ako gumalaw. I think people don't really need to know all those things. Um kung, like, I think the question was more about, ano yung reference mo pag nagkakamali ka para for you to change
Yeah,
or
value, di ba? Oh,
different mistake.
siguro, wala kang patience. So maybe you have to go back
Oo,
to
you're
that
becoming
value.
so
Be more
impatient.
patient, di ba?
Oo, kasi you know naman yourself well enough. You know your flaws. You know what's wrong with you. You know your own shortcomings. And if people tell you their opinion about your behavior, you can just say, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm taking note of, your opinion about me." And I don't feel offended because I know myself well enough. And if you think I've offended you, I'm really sorry. I apologize. But I have no intentions of offending you. So, I'm so ano yata kalmado ko masyado na it will take a lot to trigger me to react badly to a certain statement or judgment or opinion about me. If there was something said so bad about me, probably I'd get hurt. But now, as I've aged na, I've added another year to my life, parang ano na ako parang okay, it doesn't really affect me. I don't feel bad because that's not me. That's not who I am. That's just your opinion of me.
And
But it
that's
doesn't
and that
really bother.
kind of you. I think you have a lot of self worth and self esteem and self confidence. And I think you
Yes.
know who you are already. So nothing
Yes.
can how do you call it, thwart. Nothing can hurt
Right.
you, right?
Yes. Because I know my battles. I know my mistakes. I know what I need to fix in my life. I know my own problems. Nobody else does. Only my God and myself. So I know how to fix my own. And if people who are giving you opinions can fix your problems for you, then thank you. But if they're not going to participate and contribute in the change, then there's no point of even investing your time listening to their statements or opinions about you or
Okay, when
bad
you
judge.
did you ever go through a real deep how would you say very
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 difficult.
difficult event in your
I,
life or issue that really you almost like, oh, is this about life? You're parang sometimes you cried off. And so where do you get that strength to move forward?
I think I've had a lot of big turning points in my life since I was young. And I call them turning points because it's parang ano yan libro. So you flip the pages and you change your chapters every now and then. So before you move to the next chapter, kailangan may climax muna yung first chapter. Kailangan may something na sobrang, oh, it's so difficult. It's such a challenge, diba? And once you surpass that, okay ka na, pero biglang may same incident na bumabalik, same yung ano niya, yung condition, same situation, similar situation. And then you realize it's happening again because probably I did not deal with it properly in the first chapter. I should have really finished it to the point that close na siya, hindi ko na I will know what to do the next time it happens to me, right?
So
So
when you
I've
are
had
hurt, yeah, sorry to cut you down. So when
yeah,
you are hurt, do you do sort of pondering or soul searching? Do you write them down? Do you journal
I
like
used
how
to
you
write a
feel?
lot. I used to write a lot. I put all my emotions into my hands. I mean, all my work. Like I write, I speak, I paint, I do everything with my hands. I cook. So if I cook, I have to make sure I'm in a good mood. Otherwise, my food would really taste bad. So you only cook when you're out of love, out of
Yeah.
happiness. You don't do it when you're really, upset or when you're not happy. But when I paint, I have to be in a mood wherein I need to express the deepest part of my soul that I cannot express to any other human being. So when I'm hurt, I would get my pen and my paper and then just write it all down.
Really?
Write all the emotions down until I'm empty and then find my secret place. I used to go to a chapel in Green Meadows when I'm really full of hurt already, when I'm full to the point that I'm about to burst at any just with just one utter of a word, I'm already gonna cry na. So I'd go to this special place in Green Meadows. I'd cry it all out. I'd pray. Talagang ilalabas ko na lahat ng gusto kong sabihin. quietly to my creator, because he is the only one who understands what I'm going through. And the only way that I'm going to surpass my challenge is to first express what I feel, express what I have in my head, express what's bothering me. So I'm that type of person. I am very expressive, and I find different ways to express my emotions, or my anger, my hurt, my pain. And then I try at all times to convert this pain into my motivation to be a better person, or to better what I do. Because pain to me, it's just a stepping stone to better things in life. It makes you so much better after you surpass such, painful situations.
So
And you realize there's something there. There's something great waiting for you
so
at the
when you
end of
are
it.
in that particular pain or hurt,
Yes.
nag-introspection ka ba? You go inside and said, nangyari ito, why? Nilalagay ko minsan eh. Naman, I make around, that's the problem. And then I make all the difference, why it happened. I did
Yes.
this, why, and then dito sa left side is, maybe if another person, why he hurt me, his reasons, andito. Ako yun naman ako sa akin yung, is it uh, an acceptable reason? Did I do it? Is it my mistake? But again, they
Yes.
say exponential empowerment for emotionally intelligent women, they say, comes with the responsibility. You own thou every mistakes,
Yes. You cannot
every
blame anyone for your mistakes.
mistakes,
Stop
failures,
blaming others.
misdeeds, even your the
It's
consequences, you
all,
have to own it now,
yes.
and then you go
You own it.
introspection why it happened.
Actually, somebody much older than me told me that before. I was like making a lot of excuses about what was happening in my life. And then he told me, why don't you stop making excuses and finally admit to the fact that you're the one creating all your problems? You're
Yeah.
responsible for your life and nobody else. So at that point, I was very hurt. I said, how dare you say this to me? I mean, I'm already telling you people are doing this and that to me. And then, he said, because you're allowing it to happen to you. If you don't entertain, you don't allow these things to happen to you, and you walk away from things that don't serve you, then you have lesser problems. You wouldn't even talk about this, these people or people who are trying to hurt you. So, yes, I mean, we are responsible for everything. We cannot blame anyone. And yes, we we do make a lot of mistakes in our lives, and every day we learn not what not to do and what to do better next time.
Yung gusto ko na nga yan eh. I mean, I'm
Admit
already
to
into
that,
the,
that talaga it's all our
95,
fault.
I'm to almost 95, 97 na I don't say that. Ikaw kasi, I mean, like to my daughter, what you told me that, that's why I was angry. So now I'm starting to really, yung what we learned last Saturday, yung before the stimulus and then the response,
Your
and between
response.
that,
Yeah, the
that
space, the
space
pause.
between that na parang, I own, don't blame anyone, it's your fault. Because that's like in
Exactly.
love. Diba, one time people will say, I end up always with assholes. I said, maybe,
It's a choice.
maybe you yourself, because they say what you
Yes,
put in the table, that's
yes,
what you
it's
get. So maybe you also not, you also be a biatch, sabi nila.
yeah.
That's why you
You're
get
the
an
one
asshole.
attracting. You're the one attracting these things into your life. So if you know exactly what to attract into your life, then these bad things wouldn't be attracted to you. So the mere fact that you open yourself up to the world to the point that a lot of things you open up to could be hurtful for you. You cannot blame them because you open your doors to everybody. You open your doors to pain. So it's all your fault at the end of the day. So
But that's why we just learn from it now. Accept it.
yes.
That's being empowered, be responsible, accept it, and learn from it. So
Yes.
that's why yung being emotionally intelligent, I mean, it's a common word, but it really goes deeper. It really comes with
Very
self-awareness. Kasi kung alam mo
yeah.
yung gusto mo, alam mo, yun yung darating sa'yo. So if you know
Um,
who you are with your dislikes, likes, your desires, your habits, your
yes.
triggers, yung mga negative triggers mo, yung character mo, alam mo, and then, yeah, what makes you happy, and even Yung core values mo importante eh. So that's why you have to write down. So, there was a time when I wrote down after my first marriage, sinulat ko yung the person that I want to marry again. Nakalimutan ko yung word loyalty. Everything was there except loyalty. That's why. Be careful what you fish for, baka hindi kompleto. So,
Totoo yan.
importante na lang, make yourself whole. Di ba? Para, kung, sabi nila you will invite the same person, you attract people who you are Kasi I'm sure you would like to avoid this kind of people na you become close or to enter into your heart, di ba? Kung hindi sila within the bounds of your standards and your core values, di ba?
Totoo. And one more thing, Queen, I'd say, I tell people na rin na don't take yourselves too seriously. You need to sometimes look at yourself and, see the funny side of you and appreciate that there's a child inside of you that wants to be very happy. So you need to acknowledge that child inside of you. Kasi pag masyadong seryoso, I mean, you age faster and you tend to look at things and parang you compare, you judge, and you think you're better than others. So, parang ano lang, enjoy yourself first.
So
Kasi you
next
enjoy a lot
question
of
ko,
things.
kasi the one I'm gonna say is part of a woman is, di ba, they say, what do they want? What do men want in women? But before that question, I wanna ask you, how does Mitch
And,
how does Mitch love? How do you love?
oh my God. The I love more than 100%. And when I love a person, but I mean, even friends, they know this. When I love them, I really show it. I'm a very passionate person. I show whether in my words or actions, and I show that I care. I listen to the things that they need. I pay attention to the things that they care about, that they want. And if I have a way to give it, then I'll find my means to do it for them. So most of the time they're surprised. Oh, you remember? Blah, blah, blah. Of course, I'm paying attention. I'm listening to your words. I know what you need. I know what you want. And since I value you, I care about you, and you're important to me, I do it even before you ask me to do it for you. I'll
So,
do it na for you.
so
Para hindi mo na isipin.
in one
Ganyan.
word, you're a giver, not a
Oo,
taker.
super, I'd like to be a taker talaga. Kasi sabi nila, it has to be a balance of give and take.
Yes,
But
correct.
yung reality talaga, it's in your nature to be either a
Yeah,
giver or a taker.
correct.
But
Or
if you want to be
dalawa rin,
happy,
dalawa
choose
rin.
take.
Taker, giver, you're an empath or a narcissist. An empath
Yes.
kasi caregiving
Yes.
They
So
really
I like to really, I want to show people or the people closest to me that I know what you need, and if there's something I can do about it, you don't even have to say it again. I'll just surprise you. I'll give you something
so
that will make you
so
smile.
lover, giver,
That's all I love.
caregiver ka talaga. Yan yung
Martir. Martyrdom.
Taurus ka ba? Or
No.
Cancer?
No, Sagittarius. Pero Taurus is always attracted to me. I don't know why. I always get a lot of Taurians na hindi ko alam bakit. But
But
can I add something else
yes.
about, laughing? I think even my exes become my civil friends, my friends, but no, nothing else, nothing attached, no strings attached. Parang they just felt like they found the soulmate in me, in a sense, to the point that even if they're already married or they have their relationships already, yung respect nandun pa rin. Tas they feel like she cared for me, and she will always care about me. And if there's one person who will understand me and I can get advice from, that's her. That's Mitch.
So
So
parang it
ganun.
explains the archer. If you're an archer, Sagittarius an
Mm-mm.
archer. So you know
Yes,
where
yes.
you want to go. You know where you want to point your bow or your
Yes.
arrow, right?
Mm.
Anyway, okay.
Tsaka alam ko kung sino yung gusto kong makasama panghabang buhay.
Well, hopefully fine. So how do you want to be loved?
Okay. Kasi loyal naman talaga ako 100% and more. So, alam ko there's no perfect person who would be, loving me the same way that I would be loving them. Walang ganon. And I will always remember na i- pwedeng greater love yung ibigay nila sa akin, 'di ba? Pwedeng mas mahal nila ako or mas more yung ibigay nila sa akin na pagmamahal kasi yung may bibigay ko. But I want to be loved for the crazy person that I am, the quirks, and not just the outside thing or whatever it is that's physical. I want to be loved for my quirkiness, for my craziness, for lahat, kakalugan, kalokohan, yung gusto ko lang ma-in-love siya sa akin kasi natatawa siya sa akin. Yung kwela lang ako, makulit lang
Mm.
ako. Not for anything else. Or siguro, I want to be loved for, kasi I want the other person to support me in my endeavors, kung ano yung nakikita niya na um, maganda na pwede kong ginagawa or ginagawa ko. Gusto ko lang nandiyan lang siya, tulong lang siya, or support lang siya, or listen to me na oh, sige, kahit mali ka na, sige, pagbibigyan kita, pero you should know your limitations or sinabihan na kita na huwag mong gawin, ginawa mo pa rin. So, okay, kahit ginawa mo na, nagkamali ka na, I'm still here for you. So,
Mm.
parang gano'n, yung
So,
medyo
yun ang
mature.
sa two-word, unconditional acceptance. A guy who's
Oo.
got a positive regard to whatever you do and honors
Mm.
whatever decision or what you're doing to. Kasi ikaw yan eh, di ba?
Mm.
So, and
Take me
always,
for what I am, for all that I am. Take me for
kanta
all
yun
that
ah, love me for who I am,
I am.
for simply being me.
Easy. Karen Carpenter's idol ko yan eh. From Videoke.
So, yun, yung seeking to understand, my empathy, meron
Yeah.
yeah, of course, you like, merong loyalty, merong
Yes.
honesty, may kindness, my compassion, but most of all, yung honoring you
Mm.
to or whatever and what you do. It dignifies eh. Yung respect kasi is earned by a person
Mm.
through process of time and trust.
Yes.
Yung honor kasi is something you have to give no matter what to keep the
Oo.
dignity of the other person.
Tsaka gusto ko
Yeah.
yung parang pinapakilig ako, yung gano'n.
Di ba?
Yung every now and then, merong kilig na feeling. Yung hindi nawawala yung, they'll find a way to make you smile, tapos kikiligin ka ng konti.
Dapat
Yan.
laging yung romance niya and yung love niya is lagi intact. Is still
Yes.
always how do you call this uh, trying to win still your love every day.
Yes. Always try to win my smile and win my love.
Yeah, your trust
Gusto
and
ko
all
lagi,
that, diba? I
oo.
mean, I think there are guys who are like that. Just a matter of really, you have to be patient. Sabi nila,
Yes.
when the student is ready, the teacher comes along. It's the same like when you are ready, the right
At
man
saka ano,
comes along.
ayoko kasi yung nai-intimidate sa akin eh. Kasi ang tendency, the guys get intimidated by me. So, I don't want the guy who is going to be there for me get intimidated by my achievements, by who I am, by what I'm able to do, or how I speak
If
my
the
mind.
men are intimidated, that means they're not for
Mm.
you. Because men
Diba?
actually are attracted to women who are,
Yes.
how do you call this, independent,
Yes. Yes.
self-reliant, assertive,
Mm.
and they have their own style and brand to who they are. This is me, this
True.
is how I do things, and it's not accepting.
Oo. So,
They like women
proud
like that.
siya.
And they like
Gusto ko po.
women na they look up to. Kasi dapat
Mm.
naka-pedestal ka. Kasi men are hunters eh. Pag na-hunt ka
Yes.
na nila, kung hanap na naman sila ng prey. That's why let them have the feelings talaga na to
Oo.
adore you and to look up to you. That's why yung mga clingy, needy, type of women, may tawag na naman and everything. They don't like, pag hindi ka available masyado, the more they want you, you know?
I agree.
And
That's something that I don't do. I don't like, send calls to whoever I'm dating. I don't call. I mean, a simple text message, that's good enough. And then if they text back, it takes me a while to, to say something.
because you're
I'm not always
busy.
available. I'm too busy.
Oh,
They know I'm very busy.
they like
So,
women like that supposedly. Basta don't jump into intimacy to them right away. Let them,
uh,
how do you call this? Um, be
let
your.
them chase
You should
you.
be chasing you, not chasing them, and
Let them,
you should be a
yeah.
reward to them. So yung ikaw yung pinaka highest goal nila, And then they like women who are playful,
Yes,
funny,
they like,
humorous.
oh, yung challenge eh. Men are supposed to be challenged. Don't make it too easy on them.
Yeah.
Don't do everything for them.
That's
Let,
why, di ba, when we have boyfriends, kasi parang, especially girls, I mean, I was like that in my younger years. Yung I make myself available na parang, oh, I
all the
will
time.
adjust to the time to him kasi baka hindi na naman siya magkikita, maging busy siya. No. Well, before he came into your life, di ba, you are doing your thing. Di ba?
Yes, exactly.
Ngayon, dumating siya, are you gonna stop everything for him? And they don't do that
No,
for us.
no, exactly. Yeah.
Di ba?
You
So,
have to do the things that you have to do for yourself and make yourself a priority.
yeah.
I've made this mistake before na talagang, ay, grabe, I want to be with him. I just want to be beside him. Nasaan ka na? Ang ginagawa mo? Call me. Naku, nakaka-turn off pala yun.
Addiction
Dapat
yan.
hindi
Yung
ganun.
ginawa mo is
Oh,
addiction. And love is addiction, by the way.
yeah, it is. It is a bad habit.
So,
Bad addiction.
self-control, self-regulation is so important.
I
You
agree.
know?
I agree.
So, regulate, calibrate your expectations pa. Don't expect
Mm.
anything.
Yes,
Continue
tama.
on your
Tama.
dreams, continue on your career, continue to what you're doing,
Mm.
continue self-actualizing who you want to be, and then let the person come and adjust. We should not be the one to adjust. They are the
Totoo.
one to woo us and get us where we are, Kasi when you
Ayan.
are very whole, the more the men would love you if you are already whole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Parang ano eh, dati I remember I'd go pa all the way to a certain place just to meet up with a person. Sabi ko, hoy, I'll never do that again in my lifetime, no. Parang, if you want to see me, find a way to see me, but I'm not the one who's jumping out of my, my comfort zone just to see you. Ikaw ang gumawa ng paraan.
Yeah.
Hindi ako.
So, we just tell them, anong gusto mo, Mitch? Pag sinabi ng guy, unconditional acceptance. I want honor. I want respect.
Ang lalim naman paka-explain.
Explain mo na, sinabi ko na sa'yo. I-explain mo na lang in layman's,
Yes,
layman's term. Sa layman's term ka na mag-explain. But anyway, so let's go to your advocacy na. So, a lot of women, still wants to know kung paano saan nila ilalagay yung money nila that they have earned. I mean, we know that our OFWs, kabagay, mga nurses are higher than the domestic ones,
yes,
domestic helpers. Pero, mga 450 kaya, mga to $500. So, pero minsan naisip ko, sabi ko, shall I ask Mitch? Kaya lang, they send money to their children, especially But, what do you think? If you would be an overseas worker, will you try to save for yourself? And how much? Like, sa $500. Let's start with the $500.
Let's say, ang sweldo ko or ang net income ko per month is $500. So, let's say that's about 25,000 pesos. So, syempre, I don't think for myself lang, enough na yun. Kasi meron akong food, meron akong bills, meron akong day-to-day needs, diba? So, kung ako yung nagtatrabaho, and I'm the one who's really working for everybody, most of my money would be my savings. Most of my money would be, or my earnings, probably mga 15,000 nun sa akin lang. Tapos yung 10,000, yung 5 or 8,000, I'll send to my family. And then the 2,000, I could invest it in something for the future, for my family's future, or send it out to charity. Bigay ko na lang sa needy a portion of what I have. But most of the income that I would generate based on, syempre, I'm the one who's working. I'm the cow here. I'm the one who's doing everything. If I don't take care of myself, then how can I take care of other people? And when there's a need, halimbawa ako yung mga ngailangan, who's going to send me money? Who's going to give me something? Diba? So kung ako yung mag-OFW, I'd really save my money to the point that siguro 70% of what I earn is mine. And then, if it's my decision, kung gusto kong bawasan yon to help other people or to send more to my family. And if I need to make more money, like I said, a portion of my earnings, I'd be investing it in something na would give me additional or passive income para dun sa mga emergencies, whatever needs na hindi kaya ng sweldo ko, pwede ko siyang pagkunan. So, kung
Ano
ano
yung mga
naman,
recommended
yeah.
passive incomes?
Maraming passive income. Actually, maraming tao yung ayaw ng direct selling, multi-level marketing. Pero in reality, ano lang to eh, it only takes a few hours of your day or even minutes with your cell phone. You can actually earn a lot by just entering a direct selling company or multi-level marketing company, just selling their products. So you can sell nga all over the world eh, kasi the systems are pretty upgraded na and advanced, no? So when you see a company na hindi lang local, somebody who's able to sell in different parts of the world, there's no harm in trying. Don't put in too much, just, just enough, just part of the investment fund that you have already set aside. Yun lang yung paglaruan mo. And then, you also have, syempre, insurance. Most of us, we need insurance for our health. Importante yun. And we're lucky kung yung ating employer is giving us insurance for our health or covers for our medical care. Diba? So, ako, in all honesty, if you were to invest your money, don't put all your money in just one basket. Find something that you're passionate about. Let's say, yun nga, medyo, like me, I'm also an artist. I find ways to sell the things that I make. So, whatever craft that I make, medyo may bumabalik because I use materials to create art. So I need to be able to, gain it back and pay myself for the work that I've done. So find things that are very close to your heart. You don't have to look too far. Maybe it's a skill that your lola taught you or maybe minana mo na yan somewhere, magsulsi ka ng something, magtahi ka ng something na cute or something that you can sell to your friends or even cook your pancit or your Shanghai for your kababayans, diba, wherever you are. These are Filipino food na they always miss and they cannot make, especially busy sila. So, let's say may church day kayo every Sunday, you cook for them, tapos you make money. So, that's passive income already, diba? Parang you find certain days in your week or in your month wherein you can make extra income aside from the salary that you're already making. So, yeah.
Pero it's, yeah, yung sabi mong 70-30, you know naman that sometimes
Yung
yeah,
reality,
in
hindi
reality,
talaga.
di ba, may anak silang tatlo, minsan apat
Yes.
pa, plus the husband is not earning much. Kunwari,
Yes.
janitor lang siya o security guard. So, parang, and then you have 4 na nag-aaral. So, karamihan ng mga overseas workers natin, they give like, uh, sometimes the whole salary for the whole month.
That's why, mas lalo silang tumatagal malayo sa pamilya. 'Di ba? Kasi, ang priority nila is to support the ones that are here, not really
Mm.
themselves. But if
So,
you're really balancing things out, and ang purpose mo talaga is to be with your family soon, you need to learn how to empower your family that you're supporting. You just don't send them money. You teach them how to make money on their
out
own.
of that
You teach the
money,
students. Oo, parang yung students, yung mga bata, teach them how to be entrepreneurial. They can't just be going to school na, okay, you're just going to school spending money or whatever, playing with your friends or doing video games. Parang make use of your time to gain something, gain a skill, earn something or help out in the family business, set up a small business in the house. Tapos pag tulong-tulungan nila, they have their own income at home. Kasi ano lang yan eh, parang puhunan lang yung dapat binibigay mo sa tao eh. Kung as much as possible sa pamilya mo. You're giving them puhunan for them to start something na para rin makatulong sa sarili nila at makatulong sa buong family nyo. So you can't just rely on one person to provide for everything because that person is gonna burn out. And hindi na uuwi yung tao forever na yan.
correct.
Or 'Di ba, ang secondary option niya, maghanap na lang siya ng ano, ng boyfriend, ng, 'di ba, ng
Ganyan
sinong
ang
mayaman
nangyayari.
dyan.
Ganyan nangyayari, parang, oh, I'll help you. Sige,
Mm.
padala mo na yan. I'll give you money, pero girlfriend kita. Or boyfriend
Oo,
kita.
so sacrifice mo na yung talagang freedom and happiness mo. 'Di ba? Tapos pag uwi mo, sisisihin mo pa yung mga anak mo, sisihin mo yung pamilya mo, saan yun nilagay yung perang pinadala ko, wala akong inabutan, 'di ba? Wala namang nangyari.
But,
Tapos babalik na naman ako, alis na naman ako kasi walang trabaho sa Pilipinas. Kaya maghahanap na naman ako ng trabaho abroad kasi mas malaki yung sweldo. And you're gonna do the same mistake. It's a cycle. You're gonna send out all your money to your family. I don't want to offend anybody, but this is just my opinion on what's happening. And if the most important thing for all of us is to be with our families, then we really find a way na, o sige, kung, 'di ba, kung talagang gusto ng unit ng family to be responsible all together at magkakasama-sama tayo, magtutulungan tayo. Let's work things out together. So,
so,
tulungan nyo rin yung OFW. Kasi ang hirap na nalalayo ka na sa pamilya mo, sa friends mo, at saka syempre sa comfort zone mo, being a Filipino, dito ka talaga malapit, dito malapit yung puso mo. We also need to help them to
so,
get out of,
so
diba,
what do you
yung being away
recommend?
from us.
What do you recommend? Pwede ba yung parang, kunwari ako, may apat na
Mm.
anak ako, tapos yung asawa ko, yung kaunti lang inuuwi niya, mga 7,000, 10,000. And then, I think pag-usapan, ano, o alis ako,
Yes.
ganito ang magiging sahod ko.
Yes.
So, magbabayad pa ako ng utang kasi normally, meron mga babayaran pa sila. That's why they got the job eh, di ba? Like,
Oo.
they have to pay, ano, their tickets.
Yeah,
So,
they have to pay the
they should
agency
make
fee.
sure na yung alis nila, kasi karamihan naman it's the person who needs them, especially for the overseas help, yung mga nagiging helper doon. I think
Yes.
the normally it's being paid, you know, pero yung mga ibang agents pinapabayad pa sila.
Mm-mm.
Karamihan ng mga kwan ngayon is libre. You go there, then you start earning. So, dapat kausapin yung husband at yung mga anak, lalo na pag may mga they can understand na, mga 8 years old. O,
Yes.
ito lang ang magiging sahod ko. So, kausapin yung husband ko. So, ganito, ano mo kailangan natin?
Budget. Oh, budget talaga. You need to
Para
set the
yun
budget.
lang ang ibibigay ko sa inyo. Yung iba, iipunin ko doon para pag uwi ko, makauwi ka agad, meron tayong pang-invest na isang negosyo. So, pag-isipan
Or,
na.
mm-mm. Or better yet, siguro sa asawa lang naman kailangan sabihin yun, di ba? Or talagang dun sa partner mo lang or sa
O
magulang
kaya
mo
kung
na
malaki
ito
na,
yung
mga
priority.
teenager na, tapos sabihin na, okay,
Oh.
tumulong na rin kayo. Pag yung mag-part-time kayo, di ba?
Mm.
Maglinis, magpintura on weekend, somewhere else, pumama
Tama.
ka, parang ganun, di ba? Kaya lang,
Yes. Kumbaga, parang ang investment ng mother or ng father na nag-OFW. In most cases, babae yung umaalis ngayon eh.
correct.
Education ng mga anak, yun yung priority niya, no? Yung makapag-aral yung mga anak niya. Pero syempre, kung iiwanan niya yung mga anak niya sa asawa niya na wala namang trabaho, and hindi naman ganun ka, in general, caring yung mga lalaki, iaasa din nila sa iba yung pag-aalaga ng mga bata, di ba? So,
Ha,
kailangan talaga merong magagabay dun sa mga children. And we expect na yung elderly nila are capable enough to teach the children how to become independent and also how to become entrepreneurial in their own little way. Kumbaga turuan sila how to appreciate or value money, value hard work, and how they can help out the family by doing little things that could actually help themselves
yeah,
and help the family na in general. Plus the supportive mom or dad who's working from abroad or working overseas.
I remember my father, he was a policeman. He had to go to PMA for
Oo.
training. And then nagkaroon ng typhoon. He couldn't come home. And my mom and dad were separated then. So yung mga maid sabi, "Allah, wala na tayong pagkain pag di pa uwi ng daddy mo." Sabi niya. So 30 pesos na lang yung pera natin, kulang na sa milk. Sabi. You know what I did? I invested that 30 pesos. I made a halo-halo and I made ice
Yes.
candy. And I'm good at
Diba?
I'm I made a coconut because we had coconut, and put
Oh,
coconut with a little milk, and then condensed milk, and then I bought also a little pineapple, and then I made pineapple, and then I made a little cocoa for chocolate and mix it with a little water and but cut it off. So my 30 peso became 300 pesos.
see?
And then my 300s become 1,000. And that time, that was so much already. So,
Diba?
when
Ang
you're
laking
hungry,
tulong.
when you,
Mm-mm.
yung for the love, siyempre sabi ko, no, siyempre I have two younger brothers, four of them. Sabi ko. And then, meron naman kaming isang yaya. Siyempre, sasahuran pa yung yaya ng papa ko. Sabi ko, wala kayong sahod sa akin na. Basta yung 30 pesos, pangkain lang natin. Alam mo, they all helped me. And then, we sold everything and made 300 pesos.
Diba? That's a lot, especially
For
kung
the love
30
of
pesos.
yun, people they'll
Mm,
become productive when they're hungry or they are afraid,
yes.
yung fear of their loved ones.
Mm. Tsaka yun nga, like they said, marami kasi mga entrepreneurs na when they hit rock bottom, dun sila lalong nagiging inspired to work harder. So they think of the better opportunities or business talaga na maglalast na mas permanent or mas long term, not permanent but long term. So pag may pain, ganun din naman, you turn your pain into your inspiration to do better in
So
life.
how do you teach micro entrepreneurship to youth?
Kasi depende iba-iba naman yung cases nila and most of the time, yung mga nagsa-start kasi ng business, wala naman talaga silang alam sa pagdinegosyo. So, syempre, ikaw, as a person who's been doing business for more than 20 years already, you've experienced so many things already as a startup. And usually, businesses should start small talaga for you to gauge kung lalaki ba yung negosyo mo or hindi. And sometimes, it really depends on you. If you're gonna, be as passionate and be as dedicated to your business, then the tendency is whatever you put into your business, that's what you also get back. So, yung mga nagsisimula pa lang, marami kasing problema yan about, let's say, compliance. Hindi nila alam paano mag-comply sa local government, hindi nila alam yung mga
Mm.
BIR, hindi nila alam yung mga permit, hindi nila alam yung monthly na kailangan mo sundin sa rules ng pagninegosyo. Secondly, sa mga tao, hindi nila alam yung labor laws, hindi nila alam kung what applies to them, paano ba sila, how do you become the boss and the HR and everything.
Yeah.
Kasi di ba lahat, you wear all the hats. You're the accountant, you're the boss, you're the HR, you're the
Worker.
production worker, the driver, lahat na ikaw pa rin nagbebenta, marketing, sales, it's all you. So, ang malaking problema nila, syempre, sasabihin nila, okay, I have this much capital. Let's say, nagsimula sila ng 25,000. Wala naman silang planning, wala naman silang
So you
projection.
teach them.
You have to tell them, anong pupuntahan ng 25,000 mo? Anong plano mo dyan? Paano mo babayaran yung operating expense mo? Paano mo babayaran yung utilities mo? So, all these things, pagka narinig na nila, parang either mag-proceed sila sa pagnenegosyo or mag-step back muna. Tapos pag-isipan, ay, wala palang security of tenure dito, as compared to being an employee. But then, kung talagang yung passion niya, tsaka yung tingin niya
Mm.
is, you have freedom with your time when you're an employer or a negosyante, magpo-proceed siya.
Yeah. So
Pero
one
kung
of
meron
those
siyang
core value
fears,
is risk, calculated
oo,
risk.
yes. Everything is sugal. Life is a gamble. I
Yeah.
mean, you gamble with your love life, you gamble with your friends, you gamble. Almost every decision in life talaga is a gamble. So even the business side, sa business, it's also a big gamble. But if you
My
really put your
calculated risk.
calculated risk. If you put your heart into it and you really want it badly, and your reason and your purpose is deep enough, then you're going to achieve whatever you aim for. in
So that's
business.
what can you say to the young entrepreneurs? Anong core value
Um,
dapat na uh, isa puso nila? Wow. What a nice
I think
Tagalog.
yung concern mo for the consumer should be your priority. You should know that the consumer is the most important person in your business. It's not what you want, it's not you, but the person who's buying from you. So if you're able to satisfy them, then your business is gonna grow. Your business is gonna support you back. So if you think about your customers more, if you think about their needs and how to satisfy them, at saka kahit may negative feedback na sila, meron silang mga criticism sa product mo or service mo, take it as constructively because it's actually helping you to get better at your craft. So put your customers first. Yun pa rin yung ano ko.
Yun, yung parang uh, dapat yung
Suggestion ko, advice ko sa mga young entrepreneurs, don't forget your customers. They're the most important people.
yeah. So, how about for the women? Lalo na yung mga ah
Women who wants to become negosyantes,
yes, kahit I mean as a housewife, hopefully na I don't know if they have a time kasi sometimes I've seen people, women.
you need to make time for everything. Let's say you really need it. I mean, like me, I stay at home all the time, especially during since December. I've learned how to clean my dog's cage. I've learned how to, do everything at home without any helper. Kasi yung helper ko nagkaroon ng nagkasakit, nagka-COVID, silang mag-mommy. So, kailangan ko matuto kung paano gawin lahat sa bahay. I need to manage my time wisely and also attend to myself and attend to my business and to other commitments. So, if a mother or a woman really wants to meet her needs or to be able to provide for herself or provide for her family, kailangan niya talagang mag-decide. You have to decide on what you really want to do. So if it's doing business, find the business that's very close to your heart. And it could be something just under your nose. Don't look too far. It's something that you already have in you. Tingnan mo na lang, ano ba yung alam mo talaga? Kasi it's hard to do something that you're not good at. So find something that you're really good at already and turn it into
A
your own.
business. Yeah, what you're
Yes,
good at, what you love to do, and what you're passionate about. Make a
yes,
career out
yes.
of that as long as you give a quality value, nagkakapera tayo dyan, right?
Yes,
Okay,
tama,
we
tama.
have another 9 minutes. So tell me, ano yung pwede mong sabihin to all our women? How do you empower women?
I think the first thing that every woman should do is to know herself well enough. So you cannot be pushed around if you know your values, you know your strengths, and you know your weaknesses. So kung gusto mo talaga na, I know you have a dream for yourself. I know there's something about you that wants to be very successful, that wants to be very happy, that wants to be loved, that wants to smile, that wants to be the better version of herself, that wants to help other people, to reach out to more people and become a legacy and of your own in your lifetime. So, kung gusto mo talagang maging empowered, everything really needs to start from you. You need to know yourself well enough and you need to be grounded to the point that like sabi nga ni Miss MK kanina, kailangan may reference point ka. So if your reference point for every challenge or suffering is being God-centered, then so be it. Then stick to that and carry on. Do the things that you love. Make sure that you also take care of the people around you and those that you truly care about. So you cannot empower others without first empowering yourself. And empowering is not as simple as putting a crown or a title to you. It's not as simple as achieving success in business or um, creating a lot of wealth or having an abundant life or having a good looking husband, a great looking family. There's more to that. Being empowered in itself is a very deep statement for a woman. It like with MK, it takes a lot of EQ. It takes a lot of talagang self-reflection for you to know if you're truly empowered or not, because nobody else can tell you that but yourself. So if you want to call yourself empowered, regardless of what gender, it pays to know who you truly are.
Yeah.
Sino ka ba talaga?
How about yung
Yeah.
mga single girls? What can you say na dapat ba mag-asawa sila kaagad, or what can you advise to these women who are still young before plunging into marriage?
I'd say don't settle. Don't settle for less, and don't settle right away. You have to remember that there's so much out there in life to experience, so much out there for you to do, and love will always be there. Men or just partners will always be around, and finding the right person, you need to look for yung maturity talaga, and it has to be both sides, and to avoid like pitfalls like what most of us went through. Listen din kasi, huwag matigas ang ulo. Makinig-kinig pag pinagsabihan. Don't be too stubborn. And when sometimes you need to know that other people also care about you. But if you feel na talagang para sa'yo yung pagkakaroon kagad ng relationship or settling down and getting married, make sure may sarili ka ng pera, may sarili ka ng bahay, may sarili ka ng kotse, para hindi ka tatapak-tapakan or insultuhin or makakawawa. Make sure you empower yourself to the point that you are independent and you're capable of taking care of your own business and taking care of yourself. And you just don't need a partner just to have someone to, depend on and rely on and expect financial support or moral support from. Kailangan equal kayo pareho actually. When you get into a relationship, it's a give and take talaga. Give and take relationship.
Yeah. So, adding to that, sabi nila,
Hmm.
being loved and to love someone is much more beautiful and rewarding if you are not leaning to all
Yes.
the things and at all times to a certain person, a man,
Oh,
of course.
don't marry for convenience. That's the
Yes.
easy thing to do. You get married for convenience. Very easy. But, it's going to catch up on you. So you need
Correct.
to be independent enough. Just
Yeah.
make sure you're capable of handling your own business.
Yung self-actualization, importante yon, di ba? Dapat
Yes.
yung mag-asawa man kayo, because you cannot afford yet to make your own home, the guy should at least, may self-actualization ko sa biological needs, di ba? Food,
Yes.
air, water, home, a house.
Yes. Kailangan both are capable and able to
Yes,
support
so yung safety needs
each other.
na, yung safety new environment-wise and financial safety, importante na meron kayong gagastusin. Don't get married just because of love. Kasi when
Yes.
there's no money, you will fight and you will lose that love.
Yes. Love is not enough. It's not a reason to get married. You can fall in love even with your friends, but you don't need to get married to them.
Mas maganda pag yung babae self-actualized, di ba? Yung meron ka
Yes,
ng
ma'am.
sariling savings, meron ka na. Kasi there are times when, sabi nila, the only permanent in this world is change. What if he
That's true.
changes his mind that you'll no longer be his girlfriend or wife? You know? That's
Oh,
why
oh.
yung mama ko, tinuruan niya ako, be independent, be self-reliant, never depend on a man. So, he
Yes.
always told me that ever since I was even 6 years old, never,
Yes.
never depend on anyone.
There's nothing wrong in asking for help, but you still have to do things by yourself.
Yeah.
Learn how to stand on your own ground and do things on your own.
Kasi empowerment comes with freedom, di ba? You have the
Yes.
freedom of choice. Kasi if you have your
Yes.
own money, hindi ka ina-abuse. Pag ina-abuse ka, you can leave. Kasi some
Yes.
women don't leave their husbands kahit ina-abuse na sila dahil they cannot live on their own. They have nothing to feed themselves and the children that they have.
Mhm.
Pero pag meron kang ipon before marriage and you are self-actualized actually, you can leave anytime, So, importante sa akin, sinasabi ko sa mga youth, mga women na be self-actualized. Have a lot of savings before you even get married. Yung hindi niya alam, it should be a secret that it only belongs to you. That's your emergency.
Yes.
Something
Yes.
happens that you could pull out. All
You
right, so
have to
2 minutes, last 2 minutes.
Okay. So, ayun nga, Miss MK, thank you very much for having me tonight. I enjoyed our talk again. I learned a lot as usual. So to all the women out there, lagi po tayong smile, smile lang, stay calm, and always be practical, always be logical. Let's not be impulsive kasi madali nowadays to spend their money, pero mahirap din po siyang kitain. So maraming triggers dyan for us to go shopping online. Ang daming pwedeng paggastosan. But let's be practical and know our needs, and let's, look at tomorrow. Wag lang yung today. Kasi we also have to look at our future.
Yeah.
So, thank
And
you very
being
much.
empowered and successful woman is to own your power by
Yes, own it.
self-actualization. Dapat
That's
may
correct.
sarili kang iyo. Right?
Surely. Yes.
Because you cannot have freedom for anything else if you are not actualized materially, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Dapat matured
Yes.
ka na dyan. Di ba? Alright, so thank you,
Yes.
my
Thank you.
darling. Till our next show. And thank you for everyone who's been watching us. Hi, my daughter Chrissy from Denmark is watching. And our other friends from France, my sister also, and my mom in the States. And all our queens, if they're watching. Okay, bye, darling. And
Bye. Thank you, MK.
thank you,
Good night.
everyone,
Have
for
a good night,
watching.
everyone.